What says good times better than something sweet? Let's start with two 16-ounce jars of Planters peanuts, roasted and salted, and then an entire package, that's 11.5 ounces of these Reese's peanut butter chips. Yes, please. Now, on top of that, we're going to come in here with some of our chocolate chips. Now, y'all, please don't hate me. I got the Walmart brand. That's just fine. If you want to go with Hershey's or any of those other, by all means, help yourself. And I've already started to pay for it. They got a little bit warm, and now they're starting to clump. Dadgummit. On top of that, we're going to put us in a 1/4 cup of Jif peanut butter, just to make sure we got plenty of glue to hold this amazing together, okay? There we go. Oh, excuse me, 1/2 cup, pardon. There we go. Just put that right there on top. It's so easy. I love this dish. You can literally set it and forget it. Put that on the heat, walk away, couple hours, you come back, and it is ready to go. Okay, hey, don't lose any of that peanutty goodness, all right? Make sure you get everything off that spoon. Nice. Now, our next ingredient's a little fun. It's just that vanilla almond bark. It's that candy coating stuff. Almond bark's what my mama used to call it. And you just chop up 24 ounces, a full 1.5 pounds. That's a package and a half of that stuff. And pour it right there on top. Now, I have used the white. You can use the brown just as easily. I was just going for more of a milk chocolatey color. And that's it. That's all you got. You throw that together, you put it in the crock pot on low for just a couple of hours, and this is what you got. Now, a trick of the trade, you want to put something like a paper towel or a tea towel over the top before you put the lid on, just to make sure it doesn't go crazy in there, okay? Great. And then like maybe, I don't know, not even a couple hours, an hour later, this is what you got. I know what it looks like. Y'all just give me a second, okay? Trust the process, my word. You got to break some eggs to make an omelet. And if you knew what goes into a sausage, you know the story. Come on. Just roll with me here. This is good stuff. Every ingredient here, so simple, so easy, and so fast. Chocolate chips, peanut butter chips, 2 16-ounce containers of peanuts, and 1.5 pounds of that almond bark. And you're done. Leave this out on the counter or put it in the fridge or the freezer for a little while to make sure that it sets up right. You're good to go. You can also drop it on the wax paper for individual like cookie type situation or clusters. And because it is kind of bland, we're going to spice it up a little bit with some sprinkles. Here we go. July 4th is coming up. Let's make sure we give our respect and admiration where it's due. That's it. Eat up, y'all. First, you're going to take 2 steaks, okay? Now, I picked some ribeyes just because that's my favorite cut. New York strip is really good. I prefer something with just a little bit of a higher fat content because you're going to need it, because it's going to make the base of this. And as it cooks in your slow cooker, it is absolutely going to release all the flavor of that fat right into the whole dish. Ooh, yes, please. All right, now then what we got is some sliced onion. Now, this is sweet white onion, okay? So what I'm going to do is literally just place that right on top. Just as much coverage as we can possibly get, because all of that flavor and all of that aroma goes right from those onions down into the meat. Plus the acid in the onion is going to break that down a little bit and use those proteins to make that so nice and tender. Now, I don't want to go overboard with the onions on this level, so I'll just stop right there, okay? Great. Now then, coming up next, we got just a little bit more vegetable action. Carrots, okay? Love that beta-carotene, don't we? Yes, please. Not to mention the fact that they are so good in a slow cooker. Crock-pot keeps them really nice and tender as long as you don't overcook them. Now, we're only going to keep this in here for about 4 hours, so it's not going to be that long a time. High temperature just to make sure that everything gets tender without turning into mush. Next up, a staple, y'all. It's these beautiful little golden potatoes, all right? We're going to just put those right around the edges. Super easy, not any kind of problem. I've washed them really well just to make sure that whenever they go in there that everything comes out nice and tender. Also, I didn't want to peel them because I always like to have that the peel on them for all of the nutrients, the minerals, and the vitamins they got in them. Now then, after this, we got just a little bit of steak rub and seasoning. because as it is, it'll have a whole lot of flavor. But if you use just a little bit of seasoned salt, man, it'll just really bring out a whole lot of flavors in this. Can't have too much. It might be a little bit salty, so watch out for that, especially if you're watching your high blood pressure, okay? Now then, coming up next, we got this. That's right, Lipton onion soup and dip mix. Now, nobody here's going to make a dip. Nobody here's making a soup. But whenever you put this in there, the dried onion bits as well as the fresh onion we've got in there really does mix very well together. Plus all those other spices in there are going to make a really nice brown broth. And just all mixed together just helps mingle those flavors really nicely. I use the whole packet because around here we are not afraid of a little spice, okay? Beef broth. Now this is what you're going to put in here to make sure that you keep all the flavors in here, but you add a lot of moisture. Now if you add water in there, it's going to kind of dilute the flavor. But if you put this beef broth in there on top of everything, that is the key. That is the magic ingredient, the glue that holds all this beautiful together, okay? Very nice. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. It's one of the best parts about this, honestly, is the smell of it. So what we're going to do is put the lid on it. And like I said, we're going to put it on high for about 4 hours. And whenever we come back, the house is going to smell like a dream. And this is what we're going to put on the plate. Those perfectly tender potatoes that are just waiting for a big dollop of butter or sour cream. Perfectly tender onions. Now see, look, they're still just a little bit firm. And then you've got this tender, juicy steak. Now it doesn't have the grill marks, but what it does have is a ton of flavor and just a moist and tender piece of meat. I'm going to put those onions on top just because I love to have a bite of that with every bit of meat that I get in my fork. Now then, hey, don't forget those carrots now. That's something we got to keep on the side of this plate because right now we've got the potato and we got the steak. There we go. Appreciate you. Get those carrots. Hey, watch that one. He ran away. There we go. When I was a little one, I used to love carrots and sweet potatoes so much that I actually turned orange. My mama got real upset because the pediatrician said, your baby's orange. She said, no, he's rosy. He says, ma'am, your son is orange because he eats too many sweet potatoes and carrots. Y'all don't do that. Eat up.